All right, all right, all right. How's everyone doing tonight? This is the Not Ghost Host podcast. Your ghost host, Mike, and glad to see you. Well, kinda. Anyway, so last show was part one of the equipment that I use and that I have, and some information about other equipment that's out there that can be used. With further ado, I'm going to continue where I left off, and I believe I was talking about spirit boxes and spirit portals. Well, to date, there are probably several different brands or styles of spirit boxes, and that's a universal or generalized name for a radio, AM FM radio, that is converted to scan all the stations at a fast pace. And what's supposed to happen when you do that, the radio can't fix on one particular channel, and what's supposed to occur is spirits or entities are able to communicate through that using, I guess, the energy or the white noise that it creates. Although it isn't really white noise in that spirit box, it is, however, jumbled up. You might get parts of a word, you might get a whole word, but you can tell that word is from a radio station or something. The word usually has to be kind of short for it to be a full word. Is, them, are, not. I hear not a lot. Maybe that's because it's our moniker. But anyway, so you'll never get a full sentence unless for some reason it pauses. Now, in my opinion, if your spirit box, or I don't know really what the technical name of it is, but your AM FM radio scanner gives you a full sentence on the same voice, that's more than likely a spirit or entity. It is not completely proven science, but I think just about every team out there has kind of experienced some type of response from that, and it's kind of exciting when you're doing it, when you ask a question and you get yes, no, John, names, you get places, you might get back room, you might get front room, you might get upstairs, you might get basement, grave, several different responses. And it's supposed to be a spirit being able to talk through that and giving you your answers. Now, again, there's probably, at this point, I'm just going to take a wild guess, there's at least 10 to 12 different models and styles. The most popular and the first created was by a guy named Frank. I can't think of his last name, but Frank developed it, and he named it originally, I think it was Frank's Box, or someone nicknamed it that, and then he labeled it as SB, Spirit Box, whatever. So I have a Spirit Box 7. There is a Spirit Box either 11 or 12. I think it's 12, and it's a app on the iPhone, which I try to stay away from. Not because I don't trust SB, but because I don't trust the iPhone. And it is an app, and it's could be relatively harmless. And if you've got nothing else, then you can go with it. But I'm afraid of, I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to what you have on your iPhone or any phone, who's listening, who's watching, what have you. And so I shy away from any app, ghost app, that is on the iPhone unless it's marked as entertainment only. If it's marked entertainment, then it's harmless. Then you know that it's for entertainment only and it is not meant to be a scientific process. You want to stay away from anything on the iPhone or Androids or whatever type of mobile phone that you have that doesn't specify being for entertainment only. So I will show you one model that I have. I do have the SB7, but I have it packed away right now for an investigation coming up. And this one is a little bit easier, readily accessible. So I'm going to use this as an example. Again, I do prefer the SB models, and only because that is the originator. Not that you can't mimic and copy it. It's obviously not that hard. But this model that I'm going to show you has several different options to it, some of which I really think make it easier. One is I can record the session with this one. I have 3 of these in total. And 2 of them you're able to record your session, which really helps out because you can record on your own digital device. You can record with that digital device, and it goes onto a micro SD card. So it's very convenient to have, and once it's connected to a Spirit Portal, and I'll explain all that in a minute, it's kind of fun. So a little bit tough to get out of the box. Okay, so this is... it says Spirit Box on it, but again, that's a generic name. I don't believe this one is made by Frank. If it is, then he's changed the style, which is fine. But usually, I find that most of his stuff is marked as with a number, SB7, SB12, what have you. What I do like about this is it does have several options. Like I said, one, it has its own little flashlight, so you can work in the dark easily with it. So that is one minor little accessory that I like. It can be connected via USB in 2 different forms. One is the charge port, and the other is to connect to your computer. You can connect headphones to it. You can use this without the Spirit Portal. Connect your headphones to this, and you will use, more than likely, you should be using noise canceling headphones. And if you want to do an Estes method, is where you have one person in a blindfold and with noise canceling headphones and this playing through it, and the other investigator or another investigator asking questions, And whatever words you hear out of this through the headphones is what you yell out, you don't have to yell it out, but you say it out loud, and then the whole session is recorded. The person in the headphones and in the blindfold isn't supposed to hear the questions. So whatever answers come out should be corresponding with the question, or with the whatever answers are being thrown out should be corresponding with the questions that are being asked by the other investigator. It's a quite interesting process, and it doesn't take any practice. You can use anybody to do it. So one person is just in the headphones and blindfold and listening to this, which does get annoying, so you probably only want to do no more than 10 minutes with it, because it would drive you nuts, because you hear every station, skipping through. Most of the time it doesn't bother me, but, that's just me. This has several different modes on it. This has, because it is a recorder, you can forward, reverse, so you can play back, what you just did. And it also has a delete, so if you get, if you don't need something and you think it's just a waste of time or whatever, you can delete it right then and there, and then save space on your SD card. There's the micro SD card opening there. You can adjust the speed of the scroll. Sometimes the scanning needs to be faster or slower. Really has a lot to do on the area that you're in. If you have a lot of radio stations, you can probably slow it down a bit. And if you don't have that many radio stations in your area, you might want to speed it up all the way to the fastest, so you avoid pausing on any one station for too long. So that option is nice, and that's on every one of these so far that I have. You want to be able to change the speed. The nice thing about these is, because of the headphone jack, you can connect it to the Spirit Portal. Now, that is a couple different things. The one that I use with this Spirit Box is a mini guitar amp or instrument amp, and a guitar pedal noise gate, and a reverb pedal for the guitar. And what happens is, you put the Spirit Box connected from your headphone into the noise gate. The noise gate cuts out all that extra noise, and all you get are, depending on how you set it, all you get are the major words that come through. And again, that is a big help. The reverb is just used to help clarify the words. For me, it's a little bit harder to focus on the words because it doesn't sound clear. It's reverb. But most people do find it easier to listen to and to deal with than just normal voice. Kind of sets it apart from the radio noise. I think that's what the main objective is. It sets it apart and really makes it easy to understand. There are several different ways to you can buy one of these, a whole setup, and usually that runs around $500. If you've got enough technical background, you don't need to buy one. You can make your own. I've already made two, and I used the same stuff that the ones that they sell on all these websites, professional places that deal with ghost equipment on a regular basis. I've made it for less than $130. And that's all the components, that's the wiring, that's everything that you need. And it took me less than an hour to make one because they're simple. Once you figure out the basics, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out. All right, so I'm back, and I have the Spirit Portal. I'm assembling it somewhat. I'm not going to completely assemble it because I just dropped a piece and I don't feel like bending down and picking it up. Okay, so what we have here is the Spirit Portal. And on this side is the noise gate. You push this button in, turns on the noise gate. You can adjust it by this knob here. There's also a high or a hard and soft switch, which doesn't really matter in this case for this type of situation. This is the amp. You can buy these, dirt cheap on eBay, Amazon. You can get them from Guitar Center, any type of music store. They've got loads of these at Guitar Center. I was just there a couple weeks ago, and they've got loads of them. They're pretty good. They're clear, and they're practiced amps, and so you can, adjust whatever's up here, which I really tone and stuff like that, which does help somewhat. Sometimes it doesn't help. Then on this side I have the reverb pedal, and again you just push this bottom button and then you can adjust the reverb according the way you want to listen to it, according to these two knobs and this one here. And like I said, first of all, it goes in through the noise gate. After the noise gate, it goes into the reverb, and then from the reverb, it goes into the amplifier, and it makes it really clear and really easy to understand. This Honeytone is ran by a 9-volt battery in the back, and I have added 2 of these from Amazon. One runs each pedal. They're 9-volt batteries that you connect that can operate the pedals, or on eBay or on Amazon, they also sell a power. What do they call that? A power adapter for 9-volt, and it is double wired. So one plug-in will handle both of the pedals. So yeah, real simple, less than $130 for this. This was all brand new equipment. The wiring and everything was less than $130. If you want to buy it off of one of those ghost equipment stores, you're more than welcome to. And I don't know how to do the links just yet, but I will give you 2 reputable ghost stores to be buying your equipment from. And one of the reasons I'm going to suggest them is because I believe both of them sell the K2 meter, the real K2 meter, because K2 actually was not being made anymore. The company that made the K2 meter, because it is a meter for electricians and so forth and home inspectors and stuff like that, So it was built and designed for them. They stopped making that model and changed to a different model. And Ghostbusters, ghost hunters, ghost investigators, paranormal investigators love the K2 meter. It was well built, and it was well designed, comfortable in the hand, lightweight and able to move around, heavily shielded so you're not getting interference from other devices. And but that company stopped making it. Well, I think another company asked if they could either buy the rights to it or just manufacture it, and yeah, they went ahead and they were given that right. And so there is a company that makes them. I'm not gonna say which one it is. I don't know who it is, and I don't care who it is, as long as you get it from one of these two places, which is, they're both of them very reputable places, and I'll give that at the end of the show. But I know they sell the Ghost or the K2 meters there. So this piece of equipment, like I said, you can hand make, or you can buy it from either one of those places, or I think they even sell them on Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. By the way, I am not sponsored by any one of these places. I'm not sponsored by anybody. So if anybody wants to sponsor me, I'd, be, happy to take it. But yeah, I'm not getting any pay for anything that I am showing you in any of these episodes. It's all stuff that I have or stuff that I have built, which I'm quite proud of. The haunt industry is expensive enough. Sorry about that. I have to take it apart to fit in my box. Okay. So, yeah, with the cost of everything out there today, it's a little bit tough for us to justify the money that we're putting out, especially when we don't charge, for the investigations, because it's our hobby. Well, unfortunately, and I'm not saying that these companies that I'll be telling you about later are doing that, but it's the people probably that sell to them are doing it. Oops, what did I just break? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah, I really hate to say that these places would be ripping us off, which I don't believe they are, but they have to make money on top of putting stuff out as well. And I'm sorry for messing around, but I have a very limited space here, and so I'm trying to work in this limited space the best that I can, and I'm being very annoying. But it is what it is. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm done clowning with that for now. I'm going to have to remember to pick up the piece that I dropped so I don't forget it. Although, anyone that knows me that has been around me any amount of time knows that I am crazy when it comes to it was my flashlight. Damn magnet. I am crazy when it comes to spare parts. I like to have them constantly. So I'm always ready. Even if I drop that, I'm sure if I go in my other bag where the other spirit portal and box are, I probably have 2 or 3 different of those cables. So, yeah. try to carry spares on things that you don't think you're going to need. Because what's going to happen is somebody is going to step on something. You're working in the dark for most people, and it's hard enough to be walking around in the dark and dealing with stuff, but it is what it is. So be prepared the best you can. Bring extra batteries, bring extra cables and cords. If you go through my backpacks and all my cases, I guarantee you're going to find at least 4 to 5 of each type of USB cord there is. Because every one of my items take a different type of USB connection. And it is essential to know that if one of those goes out, you're out in the field. You're not at home. And you want to be prepared. And you don't want to look a clown when you're out in the field trying to do a proper investigation and something goes wrong and you're just like, well, I guess that's done. The next thing that breaks, I'm screwed too. So you want to try to have multiples of some of the, the cheaper stuff, not the expensive tools. I mean, if a spirit box goes out, well, I've got 3 spirit boxes and I bring all of them with me, but the spirit portals, I've only got 2 of those. So if one does go out, I've got a backup, but if the second one goes out, it's done. It's over with. And it was embarrassing at one of the investigations. In fact, the investigation that I'm going to Saturday is a investigation that my spirit portal was acting up. And I'll tell that story later on. But I was driving myself nuts because I left one at home instead of bringing it with me, because it was a pre-investigation, so I didn't want to bring every bit of my equipment with me. But it was acting up. Come to find out that one of the brand new 9-volt batteries drained itself completely and was causing it to not work properly. Now, I feel that was I believe that was entity driven, because why is a battery going to go dead that fast? I found that a little bit interesting. So, I chalked that up to is not evidence, but, something to consider that could potentially be evidence. So that spirit box is, I should have brought the other and then tried to see, what the compared it to is what I was trying to say. And we'll go from there. All right. Moving along with that spirit box, there is a couple things that you can do. There's a couple methods that it can be done with those, and I explained the one, that's the Estes method. The other one is the Gosfeld method. That one's slightly different, where instead of the person being blindfolded, they're blindfolded with a infrared light or red light in their eyes, and I think that's a makeup thing or something now. So you can buy these goggles that just have a dull red light in your face or in your eyes, and then you still use the noise canceling headphones, and instead of playing the spirit box, you can use the spirit box. It's like a combination of the both, which isn't a bad idea. But the other thing you do with the Gosfeld is use one of these sound makers and anybody that has a tough time sleeping or relaxing is familiar with these. You can buy any style of these from Amazon all over the place. But what you want to look for with these is at least it should have a headphone jack, in the least. And, you should be able to plug it in as well. This way you're not wearing out the battery constantly. Because, again, these, you'll only be doing a couple minutes of it, but if you have the cord with you, guess what? You can charge it right then and there. Or, be prepared for a power out, not a power outage, but a power drain on the battery, because that's very possible. It's an internal built battery, so it is possible to drain it, and so again, this has levels that you can turn it up to. Volume wise, it also has 30, 60, 90, or 8 hours. You can play this for 8 hours straight. And you would be, I think, tired of listening to white noise or whatever. But there's 3 sounds that you want to listen to when you're doing Gosfeld: white noise, pink noise, and brown noise. And this model has exactly all 3 of those, plus the ocean and the rain and, so on and so forth. And the nice thing is it is completely, it's compact. It's perfect. It's, I believe this model comes in black and white. I'm not sure I don't remember if it comes with other colors. But yeah, it's another plaything. It's really, this is not something that you need to have to go ghost hunting with. This is just another option, another cheap option. I don't use the red light goggles. I'm going to get some eventually. But right now I just use the blackout goggles and the white noise or the pink noise or brown noise. And I like doing the combo. I like doing the Estes method with this instead of the Spirit Box. So, and that's the reason I'm going to eventually get the red goggles, so I can do both methods independently or combination of both. So yeah, little noisemaker, wonderful item, and again, cheap, and it has multi-purposes. Again, if you're a person that has a hard time sleeping or relaxing, that's what these are designed for. I don't find it relaxing. I find it absolutely drive me nuts. We tried one years ago, my wife and I. We still have it in the room. I only like it because it projects the clock onto the ceiling for me. And while I'm awake, constantly looking at the ceiling because of the clock, I don't get any sleep, and that sound just drives me nuts. So anyway, moving along, the next item that I'm going to talk about are for the cameras. And I should have talked about them with the camera, but I forgot that I had them. And not that I forgot that I had them, but I didn't think of it when I was talking about the cameras. You are shooting in the dark, and especially if you have night vision on your camera, you want an infrared light. Now, I don't think you can see that. But yeah, you can see the glare. Okay, so it shows the infrared that, It's on. There you go. I see how I can turn it up and down. That's neat. Okay, so that is actually very useful. Being able to dial in how bright or how dark you want it. Sometimes you don't need to use it as bright or whatever, but it's the normal size of a regular camera light. And then I have a different model. I like it because it only has 2 modes, but they both have cold shoes on them, so you can put multiple items. This one has 3 top side and each side, and then it attaches by a cold foot. This one has a cold foot on the top, and it only has 2 bars. And with that, you can actually put the full bars or just a single bar, and off. And again, it just mounts that way. And of course, it takes a different cord than the USB-C. I think this is, what do they call it? The USB or USAC or USB-A or USB-B. I'm not sure. I think I got so many damn names. But anyway, yeah, they're lightweight. They're dirt cheap on Amazon once again. You can get them on eBay as well. You just look for the cheapest one. It doesn't really matter because, again, it's just a light. It's just another accessory. A necessary one, but it's an accessory nonetheless. And the reason most night vision cameras come with their own lights built in, but what happens is a lot of times you might block it with and I think the manufacturer really screws that up. They sell the sunscreen for it, the sun lens for it, and the sun lens covers it. Or I have a wide angle lens that I put on my camera for a extreme wide angle, and that blocks the lights. So if it were me making a camera and it wouldn't cost that much more because it's just a change in the body, I would account for that some kind of way. But you can put it on the door that opens up. Why does it have to be or on the lens? So anyway, they don't do that, but these are perfect. All right. Now, I was talking about the K2 meters, and I had talked about them yesterday. This is the K2 meter, and that's basically all it is. And if you come across something, I'm touching it, so yeah, the yellow light is going on, but I don't have enough energy to bring it to red. So with that, oh no, I'm getting something. Wow, I must be getting a lot of EMF from the computer, my phone, and yeah, that's what it is. So everything around here, I'm getting orange now. So that's anywhere between 10 to 20 milligauss is the orange, and anything above that is 20 plus in the red. So I'm sitting in a lot of EMF right now, and as I move over this way, I get very little. I've only got one little green dot. Sorry about that. And if I go this way, I've got nothing. Oh, there's the orange. It's coming on. And I can't show you because as soon as I get by the microphone, if I'm really close by the microphone, at the bottom here, it goes way up. So, very good sensitive K2 meter, and it's one of the originals. So, yeah. Another good piece of equipment. It's going to sound stupid, but it makes sense. Let's say you're you call to an investigation, and they're making claims that they're seeing things, they're hearing things, people are talking to them. This this, that, and the other. The dog's going wild. Okay, that's fine. You don't mind getting all that, but you get to the place and you just feel something's not right. Most people don't know the equipment that you have. They don't know what everything does. They don't know what everything is for. And, if you're feeling that you're being scammed, this little device is quite useful in that arena. And it is a spy finder. So this here locates wireless and wired cameras and recording devices. So if you feel that you're being scammed, you whip this thing out. One, the person, if they're technically knowledgeable and they know what this is, they are going to not like when you whip this thing out. Two, you'll be able to find it. If they don't know what it is, you'll be able to find their cameras. Okay. It has a few different modes on it, and you hear the beep. That's picking up my camera right now. So I can put it by the phone here. That's picking up my phone, wireless, whatever. So there's a few different modes. You have to learn how to use it, but this will help you out in the field. Picking up my computer screen right now. Okay. But you just move it around. Got the microphones and everything going on, and it's a full bar. So that's fine. It has that light for finding. I don't know why it has that, but I guess it does. Oh, it's infrared light, so it's reflecting off of the infrared lens on the device that's picking up whatever you have. Because night cameras have that, those lights that come on. Well, this makes it easier to see, and there is modes of how that works. So you get different pulses, so that helps bring it up or whatever. You look through this little red thing, and it's supposed to reflect off of it somehow or something to that effect. I haven't used it for that yet, because I usually find it just with, like I said, the antenna mode and picking up, wired and wireless cameras. Neat thing is it also has a flashlight on it. Just another little gadget. And relatively cheap. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't that expensive. But it could come in handy for if you're feeling that you're being gypped. And, again, if people see you bringing this thing out, they're, if they're technically advanced and they know what this is, the gig is up. If they don't know what it is and you find a camera and say, you don't want to accuse them, let's say, but if you find the camera or the recording device, say, hey, I know that you have this camera, or I know that you have this recording device. Can we play it to see if there's anything on it? Now, you can always tell them, hey, I scan for, stuff like that, recording devices, after you've done it. This way, you're not going in being suspicious of them in front of their face. You just do it as a matter of fact as part of your investigation, and you don't offend them. That's one thing you don't want to do, is offend somebody, because then they'll come in and they'll find some way to, cause you problems in the future, suing you for, whatever. And just, even if they don't win, it's just to cause you anguish. So, but there's plenty of times, there's plenty of ways of going about it. And like I said, you just approach them and say, hey, I scanned the house like I normally do with all my equipment, and I noticed that you have either A, cameras, or B, recording devices. Have you ever looked at those to see if they picked anything up? That might be a clue as to what's going on with your house. And if they're legit, because several people have cameras in their house, and a lot of them don't even think to look at their own, stuff. They, it's there because of security reasons. And that's the furthest thing from their mind if they're having activity, to play back their own security cameras. Because a lot of them are DVR style, so you use a computer, or they have their own separate monitor or whatever, and people just don't think of it. I had a situation when my brother passed. I told you I'm a retired sheriff, but I went to the house and I found him gone, and it didn't look right. Things just didn't add up. It didn't appear, kosher to me. So when I called the police, I said, please send the unit out for evidence technician. I said, the scene looks like a possible homicide. So, they came in with all the evidence technicians and everything else, and the whole time, they're asking me questions, and do you have any idea who it could be? Could it be blah, 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 and everything else. And I said, you know what? I didn't know any of my brother's friends. I knew one guy, and, that's really about it. And my suspicion isn't with him, but I know one of his girlfriends that used to be over all the time. So I didn't, really think anything of either one of them. And I'm thinking, and all of a sudden it dawned on me. Now, this is probably an hour after the police have already been there. And it dawned on me, my mom had an inside house camera. I didn't know how to get into it, but my mom had one, and so that would have been recording at all times. And sure enough, I saved them hours of investigation, because they thought the same thing. I mean, he was really beat up, and it just turned out that because he had a drug problem, he was stumbling and fell down, hit his face multiple times. His knees were all bruised up, and he had, blood all over his shirt and stuff like that. So, it didn't look kosher. But it turned out that just because he was falling and stumbling and hitting his face and his, landing on his knees and whatnot, he got bruised up before he passed away. But yeah, I didn't even think about it. And my mom has had that camera in there for years. And it was because of me. I told her to put one in there, and I forgot it was there. So, people don't always think of the easiest form first. They are, they're flabbergasted. They're, what's going on with my house? Stuff like that. There's another tool that could be very helpful, and if you know how to use it, very simple. But as a home inspector, you're looking for moisture and mold and things of that nature. And wood is a great conductor of moisture. Wood is not dead. It's always living, and unless it's petrified, then it would be dead. But it's always living, and so it absorbs and dries out on a regular basis. Every season, it does the same thing. Well, if you're in a home and the floors, or you think the floors might be creaking, or doors are creaking, or you hear pops and moans, and sometimes it sounds like a step. A lot of times what that is the slight movement in the flooring, and it starts at one end and works to the other end. Now, that board might be 10 feet long. You don't know. Back in the day, when they installed floors, some of their flooring pieces were, as long as the room, which was common, especially if it was like a pine floor. Oak, not so much, but a pine floor or stuff like that, they used long planks. They didn't use normal flooring. And that stuff, when it expands and contracts, it will creak a lot, but it'll sound like someone's walking across your floor. One way to confirm or, see if your beliefs are true is a moisture meter. And it always is just a 2-prong little sensor. It's very non-obtrusive. You can stick it anywhere in the floor and no one will ever see the little, because it's very sharp, so it just makes 2 little dots. So you just stick it into the floor or a piece of trim around the doorway, or anywhere that wood is at, and see what the moisture content is. It may be extremely dry or it may be extremely wet. And in either condition, once the wood starts to expand, it might be in its expanding mode, and that might be when they're hearing the steps or the knocking on the wall. You might get a pop, and no, someone's knocking on the wall. And all it really is, it could be the crown molding moving. It could be you might have a chair rail around the house. It could be any of that. And that's what you have to eliminate. This is what you're there for. You're not there to prove ghosts. You're here to debunk or prove the existence of things around the home that could be causing your problem. It might be something completely out of the realm of your mind. Like I said, a floor creaking, simple, because it doesn't have to creak. It might just sound like someone walking across the floor. So moisture meter, you can get it relatively cheap anywhere, that, like Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, they sell those things. And again, it's another cheap piece of equipment, but again, it makes you look like a professional. You might not know what the hell you're doing, but you can use it and learn as you go. So I'm going to move along because we're getting long here. Another very crucial piece of equipment, and I was talking about this the other day, or the last episode. So I'm just going to show it to you now because I brought it out. I got it back from my son because he did a home inspection. And this is the FLIR 1 that I was talking about, the infrared camera. And it's really nice. It's just a little attachment goes on the bottom of your phone. They make them for Android and they make them for iPhone. This one was for the older lightning plug, but I do have the adapter for it. So it's made by FLIR. It's called FLIR 1. They have FLIR 1 Pro. They got FLIR 1 blah, blah, blah. These are about $150 a piece. Again, This is a piece of equipment that I use for home inspections. So, I have that in my arsenal. Doesn't mean you need to run out and get one and have it for your ghost inspection or, ghost investigation. But it is, if you have nothing else to buy, you've got everything else that I've mentioned. Well, this is just something else to add, and it's just ran by an app on your phone, which is put out by FLIR, so it's made for this product, and it's a professional thing. It's not for entertainment. And then we have the ever fun cat balls. Okay, you set them and forget them, and if you have a few of them, I've got 4 of them. They're nothing more than a sensor that senses, as you can see, touch. So if I set this down, eventually it will stop lighting up until something happens. So yeah, cat balls, real cheap. Usually come with a bunch of kits on Amazon and what have you. But a fun little toy. And you can, again, ask the entity or spirit to, touch these and make it light up. A lot of times, if it's a child, entity, which there are, it will like to make the lights light up. And just another fun little toy to have in your arsenal. I talked about having flashlights as a important tool. I find that a multi-tool is always a good thing to have in hand. Not that you can use it for ghost hunting, but something needs to be tightened up, something needs to be opened up. You've got access to something to do that. Constantly you have some of these devices have really tight battery covers. Got a little screwdriver, you got that nice and handy. So just something just to keep in mind, little foldable type of pliers and multi-tool. And nice thing about these are Gerbers. They do sell these at Menards in several different locations. Most Bass Pro Shops have Gerbers, and I like the Gerber because it's spring loaded. Helps out quite a bit, and this has come in handy so many times out there. It's unbelievable. All right, next, a really good piece of equipment to have is a book, Haunted Places Location Book. This is a catalog. This is old. This is several years old, probably from the 90s. Okay, but still, the ideas are there. You can still call these telephone numbers in here. It tells you background of the haunt and where to go for it and who to contact if you want to go to these places. This one has all 50 states and I think Alaska and Hawaii. No, that's not it. It has all 50 states and Puerto Rico or something like that. Okay. Now, probably the most important piece of equipment that you can possibly carry in all of your arsenal is notepad and pen. Okay, that's the best picture right there, covering my face. That's awesome. But a regular notepad, not big, doesn't have to be huge, and a pen, as long as it writes. Take notes. Write down where things are at. Because if you find something in your preliminary investigation, you want to know where to go back to. And the best way to do it is take notes. You don't want to have to rely on your memory. So pen and paper, real simple. Another little fun toy, and it is not an essential, but it is fun, is a portable laser beam. As you can see behind me on the background there, it has the dots on it, and if you see it across my face, it is the beautiful green. I love it. Alrighty then, this one is very adjustable. The one that I have, though, I'm not very impressed with. It's this, but the button is not a constant, okay? That bothers me. I don't know why it's not a constant, so I put some rubber bands on there so I can put the rubber band around it to hold it down. You set this down, and if anything breaks the beam that's not human, you'll see it with this. Trust me. I think it was a friend of mine I had this out and didn't know it because you can't see it, from the side, too well. And he walks in and he threw a rag, and man, that rag showed up huge. So then from that point on, I did other tests. I took little pieces of saran wrap and dropped it between the beams and saw the saran wrap like you wouldn't believe, and saran wrap is clear. So yeah, this right here is a very good item, and if you put it on one side of the room, it does enough of the room to cover a wide berth. All right, that's that one. I have also another toy. It's just a toy, but it is very useful, especially if you're doing outside investigations, cemeteries, and whatever that you can get into at night. There are several of them that aren't locked up, and usually they're the older cemeteries. But one, you want to see where you're going, and two, you might want to take a picture in the dark, and you don't have enough hands to have a camera. Well, this is a night vision binoculars with the option of, it has an SD card and USB port on the side here, and you can just put your little SD card in here and take pictures, and they're not the best pictures in the world, but they are pictures nonetheless, and you'll be able to at least have documentation of that section there. Now I'm trying to figure out why my SD card is stuck in there, but there we go. I'm just trying to see what size is in here. My fingers are too fat to do any of this stuff. I've got a 32 gigabyte micro SD card in here, and believe it or not, I get most of my SD cards from Menards. Yeah, they're dirt cheap and wonderful to I buy them constantly, and they have all the sizes. They got the 32 to 64 to 128 and 256, and yeah, they're top quality. They work perfect, so I buy them there, and they're dirt cheap. So this is USB-C plug-in to charge it, so it's fully chargeable. It'll last you for most of the night, or just about all the night, and a couple nights after that. It is mountable to a tripod, so you can take clear pictures. It has different modes and different IR settings, so it's a valuable tool, and it has a digital screen, so you're not looking through the little eye holes. Okay. And I don't know how many times people have picked this up and they look through this and they're, I can't see anything. Well, no, because you got it backwards, you fool. So there is, how this works. And these are relatively cheap, but they're invaluable as to a nice, cheap tool to use. Again, has a camera in it. Doesn't have you can't take video with it, but I don't think, oh, yes, you can. I'm a liar. Yes, you can. You can take video with it and regular stills. Wow. It teaches me something every time I turn something on around here, if you haven't noticed. So, yeah, this is another great tool to have and to use. I've covered just about everything, but one more piece of equipment that I like to have. If I'm by myself, it doesn't make no sense, but I usually go with the team, and most teams have Radidios. Okay. Very, very important. Especially if you're not by yourself. This is awesome. Sometimes, well, I have them with me at all times. I've got 5 of them, and again, these are invaluable. Reason being is these are same as a CB. They have communications 2 ways, and in an emergency, you can use one of these. Not that everyone's going to be listening, but channel 19, the normal truck channel, if you know where you're at, you can call for help. That's one way of communicating. Let's say you break your phone. Somebody will hear this. Somebody is out there listening, channel 19. There's 40 channels on these, and somewhere on those 40 channels, somebody is communicating somewhere. I don't care if you're in a rural area, or in a city. Somebody is playing around with these things. They still love them. That's why they still make them. They're smaller than ever. They're more convenient than ever. But they work just great. And someone's getting some ice. So if I would have been done 7 minutes ago, I would have been fine. But a very, very good piece of equipment to have and to use. Even if you are alone, you won't be able to communicate with anybody on a team, but you will be able to call for an emergency. And next time, I will bring up not equipment so much, but paperwork and other items that you should have with you for ghost investigations. So this concludes the equipment portion of it for this episode, these last 2 episodes. But as promised, I am going to suggest 2 places if you want to buy ghost equipment. And I have used both places. And there are things on there that I don't have that I'd like to. And they do have SLS cameras out there, so that's the camera with the Kinect on it that makes stick figures, used by Xbox at one point, and they no longer use it. But the ghost investigation industry does. They use what they're called SLS cameras. It's connected to a tablet, a Windows tablet, and it supposedly shows where spirits are standing in the room and what they're doing. So that's kind of an interesting technology that I am currently trying to develop. I just have to get all the parts and assemble it. My dumbass bought 3 of those Kinects, And I should have just bought one because I forgot I had one here from my old Xbox. But anyway, without further ado, here is the first place. Ghost Hunters Equipment is Ghost Augustine in St. Augustine, Florida. One of the original good places to go shopping. Again, I am not sponsored by them, but if you want to trust anybody, Ghost Augustine in St. Augustine, Florida is one place to do that. And I purchased something because I have the card through them. And, they have a lot of all the top quality and top used and most of Frank's stuff that he created is at Ghost Augustine, and the other place is Ghost Stop. I don't have any brochures for them. I have used both places religiously, and I will back them fully 100%. Even like I said, even without being sponsored by them, those are the two places that I trust. If you're looking for value, you can get the cheaper things on Amazon, which is not really a problem. But if you want to be sure that you're getting true ghost hunting equipment, these places are the places to go. With that, I am going to call it a night. And we'll see you in the future here, probably next week. All right, y'all. This is Mike, your ghost host with the Not Ghost Host podcast, and signing out, and y'all have a pleasant evening.